Hi, my name is Hamid. I'm instructor at ASM Educational Center. We look in Rockville, Maryland. Today I'm going to talk about classic load balancer with auto scaling. Okay, so we're going to do load balancing, but we want to do auto scaling. Okay, so let me show you what we have here, then I'm going to show you more detail. If you go back to my console, I started one of these called web server 1. Okay, so if I click in this guy right here, and this is my public IP addresses right here, sorry about that. When I right click and I say go to, that will take me, so this is a website I have. It's called the website of the main site for server 1. Okay, so what you want to do according to these pictures, we want to have auto scaling. That means if something happened to the main website, I wanted two instance comes up, EC1 and EC2. Actually, there should be two here. Two instance comes up, but the key is these are going to be on the US East 1A and US East 1B, and this is the region that we have, Northern Virginia, and this is 10.00/16. This is going to be 10.0.10 and 10.0.30. These are the public subnet we have. Okay, before we do anything, the first thing we want to do, according to my things, I'm going to take image of my web server, okay, which I'll show you. Then I go to public IP address and I will see the content of the web server. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to take the image of web server. In order to do that, I will stop the instance, then I take image of that. So I go back to my console right here. Okay, sorry about that, right here. I'll go back up to here, and this is the one that's running. I'm going to right click and then I'm going to what? Stop it. Okay, it is recommended that you stop it first, then you take image of that. So as it's stopping, we're going to take image of that. But let me show you what we have before my hands. On the image, we have something called AMI. When I click here, I have nothing here yet. Eventually, we're going to see a bunch of stuff here. Okay, and then right here, we have auto scaling. We have nothing here yet. Under here, I'm sorry, in the load balancing, I have nothing here, which we're going to work on load balancing. And also under auto scaling, as you see here, launch configuration, I have nothing here. And also under auto scaling group, which we're going to talk about, we have nothing here. Okay, so let's go back to our EC2. Okay, I'm going to run instance, and let's say this guy it was web server 1 right here. Okay, so that's the one we had. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take image of this. Okay, so let's stop right now. So I'm going to right click, I'm going to go here and image, create image. Okay, I'm going to call this, according to my notes, I'm going to call this what? Web server 1 image. So that's make it easier for us. So I'm going to call this web server 1. I'll write a description. This is image of my web server to be used for auto scaling. Okay, all right, that's good. Okay, I'm going to leave it as a default. I'm not going to do anything else. Then I'm going to what? Create what? Image. Okay, so I'm going to close this. Eventually this image comes up. When this image comes up, I'm going to refresh it. Okay, and you're not going to see here, but it will show up right here eventually. I click refresh. Eventually it will comes up here. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to do. Okay, now I will see the new image under image on the left under AMI. It will show up there eventually. Okay, so what we're going to do after that, I'm going to go and create elastic load balancer, but I'm going to call that auto scale elastic load balancer. Then you choose a security group, and then I will pick two subnets in different availability zone. I'm going to pick one, US East 1A and US East 1B. That means whenever you want to do my availability zone right here in the pictures, I'm going to pick US 1 East and US 1B. So I'm going to create what? Right now I'm going to do classic load balancer. Alright, So let's go that right now. But let's go back to EC2. Okay, so you have nothing right now running here. Okay, everything is what? Stop. Okay, if I go images, see right now my image shows up. So that's the name of the image I have. So that's why they show up right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a what? Elastic load balance. I'm going under load balancing. When I click load balancing, I'm going to click this, create load balancing. Now look at this. Now you have three choices. I have application load balancer, I have a network load balancer, and also classic load balancer. I'm going to use a classic load balancer. I have done these. I've done lab on application load balancer, and eventually I'm going to do some lab on network load balancer, which comes up. So if you look at my videos, I have done something like that. But we're going to create what? Create what? Classic load balancer. I'm going to click this. The name, you want it to be consistent. I'm going to pick something name. Okay, I'm going to call it Auto Scale ELB. Okay. So let me write down here, Auto Scale ELB. Okay, now here it's very important I pick the correct what? VPC. I'm going to pick 10.0.0 because that's what it was in my diagram. Okay, right here. Oops, sorry about that. So I'm going to pick what that. Then I got to pick two subnets on different available zone, East, A, and D. So I gotta pick what? East, this is Northern Virginia, 10.0.0, and B. Okay, so I'm gonna go back here again. Okay, I'm gonna leave it as a listener HTTP. Then here, subnet, see here, I'm gonna add what? East 1A right here. Okay, that's my what? I'm sorry, I'm gonna add East 1A, this one, because that's a public subnet. I'm gonna add that. Then I'm gonna add what? East 1B, that's another what? Public subnet, because I have another private subnet, but one is a public subnet. I'm going to add those. So these two has been added right here. Select this subnet, okay? Then I'm going to add the security groups. I'm going to just pick something with HTTP. So I'm going to pick this guy, which is called RDP HTTPS, okay, group. Next, configure what? Setting. I'm going to click this, okay? Here it says that you got to be worried about this secure. We don't care at HTTPS right now. Configure health check. Okay, health check will leave as default. This one is going to say what? Time to wait when receiving a response from the health check. 5 seconds. This one interval. Amount of time between health check. 5 seconds to that. So this one I'm going to make it 6 seconds. So it will be faster. Unhealthy threshold, leave it 2. But healthy threshold, number of consecutive health check success before declaring that instance healthy. So I'm going to make these as kind of like a, let's say 3. So I'm going to change this number to 3. Next, add what? EC2 instance. Now here's the key part. I'm not going to add anything here. What we do in other labs, we always add EC2. We don't want to add anything here. That's the key is, okay? Look what I've said. I will not add any instance under this elastic load balance, but I will add it after I'm doing auto scaling. So do not add what? Anything here. That's key. Next, add tag. I'm not going to put in tag. Then I'm review and what? We have a summary right here. Again, on the instance, we have what? Nothing. There's nothing here. See, there's nothing in instance. Be careful, okay? This is VPCs, 10 that, and these are my subnets, okay? And so on. That's my secure, and I get create. So I close that one. Now I have what? My elastic load balance, okay? Again, on the instance we have what? Nothing. Be careful, nothing. So there's no instance yet. Health check, which we have it. Listener is what? HTTP and so on, okay? So let's go back here. Now I'm going to see if my AMI is already online, okay? So let's go back, check, make sure your AMI is what? Working. I'm going to go to EC2 right now. Okay, I'm going back here. I go back to AMI. Okay, so right now it's available. So live is what? Good so far. All right. The next I want to do. Now I go and start. Now we're going to start the process of auto scaling. So this is the main part of lab is. We're going. Okay, so now we're going to again start my auto scaling process. On the left side, I'm going to click on what? Launch configuration. You click on auto scaling group. Okay, so let's go back to my console right now. I'll go back to my console. We'll come down right here. Okay. We've done the load balancing, and now we have that load balance right here. Finish that one. Okay. This is my load balance right now. As again I mentioned on the instance, there's nothing there. Be careful. Now what we're going to do, go to AutoScale. First we're going to click launch what? Configuration. Okay. In order to do that, first you have to create auto scaling what? Groups. I click that one. Again here you're going to say what? Create launch configuration. Step 1, create what? Launch configuration. Then I'm going to create what? Auto scaling group. It's a 2-step process. Okay. So I'm going to next. Here, I'm not going to pick any of these. I'm going to pick the AMI that I created, my AMI right here. I'm going to pick this guy, which is called what? Web Server 1 image. That's the one I call that. I'm going to select next, select. I'm going to pick what? T2 micro, next. Here, the name, let's see what I call here. The name, I call that create launch, oh, sorry, I call this what? Let's see, sorry about that. Create auto scaling. On the first you need to define template and so on. I pick AMI and we're going to call it Web Server 1 what? I picked that one. I'm sorry, I did this guy. After select AMI, I'm going to call it what? Auto scaling launch configuration. I'm going to copy this. Control C. Okay. So I'll go back to here again. I'm going to pick this. Control V. Get rid of the quotation. Okay. Here definitely. Now you got to click what? Advanced. Be careful, you gotta create what? Advanced. Here, I'm not gonna put it here, but I'm gonna pick what? Assign public IP address to every what instance. So every instance that come up in auto configuration has to get public IP address. I'm saying next, add storage. I'm gonna leave it default. That's fine. Next, security group. Okay. Now here, I'm gonna use what? Select existing security group. And I'm going to go down and pick same thing that I have done as before, which was this one. RDP, HTTP, HTTP. I'm going to pick this guy. So this is same security group that I use same as a what? As a elastic load balance. I'll pick that one. Review. Okay. All right. They said that, okay, you got to be careful. That's no big deal because it's open to the public, because I put anybody, that's no problem. That's just labbies. Create what? Launch what? Configuration. I'm going to pick my same key as I have. Click launch configuration. Now that takes you to what? Now I'm going to do what? Auto scaling groups. Okay. The name, which I give it here. So after that, I'm going to do all of these. You pick the one of the keys. Now let's call it what? Auto scaling group 1. I'm going to copy this. Control C. I'll go back to my things right here. Control V. Okay. Now here I'm going to put 2. What does that mean? Look at the diagram. That means when I'm going to start that my auto scaling, I'm going to have what? 2 what? Instant 1 and 2. So we're going to see that when I do provision, it's going to be 2 instance. Okay, minimum is going to be 2 instance. Okay, then here you got to pick what? Correct what? VPC. I'm going to pick net 10. Now here you got to make sure you pick what? Correct what? Subnet. I'm going to pick my public subnet, which is what? US1A, and then what? US1B. These has to match with your elastic load balance. Now be careful. Now let's say if I put 4. 4 means what? 1 instance here, 1 instance here, then another instance here, another instance. That make it 4. Okay. Let's say this was 3. If I put 3, that means you put 1 here, 1 here, then you put 1 here. Well, I'm going to put 2 here. Okay. I'm going to click advanced here. Okay. Here you're going to say well, receive traffic for 1 or more load balance. That's very important. Okay. When I click here, that's the name of auto scale last load balance which I had. I'm going to pick it up. Then I'm going to set this ELB, okay, for check. I'm going to what? Next, configure what? Scaling what? Policy. This is very important. We're going to see next one. Here I'm going to use a scaling policy. This is when it comes. This is the main part of that is you want a minimum, you want to pick 2, maximum you want to go what? 5. That means minimum 2, you go up to 5, maximum scaling. I come down, then I'm going to create a bunch of what? Rules. Right here. See, this is when increasing group size. There's nothing here. I'm going to say add new alarm. If this, I'm not going to use notification here at all. If this is average of CPU utilization, I have a bunch of choices. I have a this read operation, this write. If average of CPU is more than 80%, okay, for at least 1 or consider 5 minutes, let's give a name. If CPU more than what? 80%, add 1 instance. Okay, I'm going to click around. Watch this. I'm going to click around here. Then what I'm going to action, I'm going to add what? 1 instance. That's what it says that. If CPU more than 80%, add 1 instance. Okay, so if it's more than 80%, you want to add 1 instance. I come down, I do same thing for decreasing. Add a new alarm. I'm not going to use a notification. If whenever the average of this is less than, like if it dropped less than 30%, you know, I want to what? Remove. If it's less than 30% for at least 1 consecutive of 5 minutes, let's call this. If CPU is less than 30%, remove 1 instance. That comes to the next page. Okay, this says for at least 1 consecutive period of 5 minutes. Okay, but I'm saying clear alarm. Here I'm going to what? Make it what? 1. Let's look at one more time. The top says what? Between 2 and 5. That means I could have minimum 2 instances up to maximum 5. This means that if it's more than, if your CPU get more than 80% usage, I'm going to add what? 1 instance. That means if you have a lot of hit on your web server CPU using, so I'm going to scale up. So it's going to go, it could go what? It could go 3, it could go 4 or 5. Maximum goes 5. I don't want more than 5 because of the cost wise. Now, if it drops, if the CPU is less than 30%, okay? If it's less than 30% right here, okay? Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to what? Remove that. I'm going to what? Remove it. Okay? Then I'm going to go configuration notification. Here I can add notification to my email like that, or anything like that, but I'm not going to add a notification. I don't need that. Then I'm going to say what? Configure tags. I have nothing. I'm not going to do a review. Then we click what? Auto scaling what? Group. Let's see if it comes up. Very good. Successful came up. Okay. The key is whenever you do this auto scaling configuration, you have to make sure you use the correct subnet availability and correct security group. Then I'm going to say what? Close. Now watch this. And this comes up, okay? Minimum 2 or maximum 4. It should be 5. Made a mistake. Now let's go back to my EC2. Watch this. I'll go back to EC2. Now look what happened. Voila. It's coming up. See? 2 what? Instance coming up, okay? There's 2. Now look at this. Now I'm going to call this name. Let's say I'm right here. I've done that. I've done that part, okay? That's what said that. Make sure you click advanced and click ELB and then you create a simple and call that. We've done that. Now I'm going to add that CPU 80%, all that because I've done this right. Now it's scale between 2 and 5, okay? I've done that, all of this. Now I've done this. Now I'm going to call. Now as it's finalizing process, when I go to EC2, I will see 2 instances will come up. Let's call this. I'm going to call this. I'm going to copy this. Auto scaling group 1. I'm going to copy this. So let's go back to instance so we can see much better what's going on. The name was, this is coming up. I'm going to click here, paste, check mark. Then this is initializing right here. Right click what? Paste and that. And I'm going to make it what? 2. Okay? So leave it like that. Okay? So I click refresh. Alright, so 2 is coming up. I'm going to click name, so the name comes up on top. So these guys initializing, okay? So these, we're going to say these 2, when I get a public IP, it's going to be exact same as my original I had. Same as this guy, which this was 54. Look at this, 205, 210. This is what I had before, okay? This is what I have. So these instances will be exact like that, which we're going to see that right now. Okay, now let's go. Let's see what's happening right here. Okay. Now if I go to ELB, I will see a last two instance that was created from auto scaling, and also I will see the long DNS name. Now when I copy and paste the DNS, I will see the same content web server one that was created step 1. So let's go look at that one. I go back to where? Auto to load balance right here. Load balance right here. Okay, this comes up right here. Look at on the instance. Remember before here we have nothing. Now we have what? 1 and 2. One is in service, the other one is 1A and what? 1B. Okay, remember that is health check. That's what we had. All of these. Listener port 80. Okay, so let's just wait. Let's go back to EC2. Let's see if they're both healthy right now. Run instance 2. So they're both initializing. Let's go refresh. It still is not what? Finishing. So we have to what? Wait. Now let's go back to the other gentleman. Launch configuration here, we don't see not much. It's not much. It's just basic information. But let's go look at the other one below that launch configuration. I want to show you auto scaling group. Now watch this. This is very important. This is what? The name of that. Now this is active history. Look what happened. It says what? Launching a new instance 2. These are the 2 instances that came up today, right now. See, successful. This page is going to show, we're going to look at this activity history, okay? So right now I have what? 2 successful. The scaling policy, we said that right here. This is when you decrease it, and this is when you increase it. This is when you what? If CPU is less than 30%, you want to remove 1 instance. And this is if CPU more than 80%, we want to add 1 more instance. Okay, that's that one. Okay, instance. What is my data? See, both instance 1A and 1B, because minimum was 2. Actually, this has to be 5, but I made a mistake. I put a 4 here. So right now I have a 2 instance. Okay, that's that one. Monitoring, nothing. Notification, I didn't put notification. That's why it's nothing, and so on. Okay. So let's go back to EC2 right now. Let's see if it both is up running. Let's go back to here. All right, one initial. Oh, the other one has not come up yet. So something is happening to what? To this guy. Okay, so that's not good, but it's okay. We will continue. All right. Now let's look at my notes right now. Okay, now if I go to ELB, I will see 2 instances that was created from auto scaling. Also I see the long DNS name. When I copy and paste the DNS, I will see the content of that. Okay, so let's check it out. So I'll go to elastic load balance. I go back to here to elastic load balance right here. Let's go. This is the description right here. I'm going to copy this. Right click, copy, and I'm gonna what? Paste and go, and I press. See, this is exactly what I had right here. Now if I press enter, it's gonna load balance between what? These 2 guys, one here and one here. That's what it's supposed to be. Okay, because we have what? 2 what? Instance. Okay, but let's go back and see if that's healthy. Now I go instance. Okay, both is in service. That's good. So both in service. Okay, that's good. Let's go back to EC2. Let's go see back if they're both live is good. All right, now both is good. So far so good. I like that. Okay, let's go back to my what? Again, when I go back to auto scaling, launch configuration is not much. There's not much information here. So I'm not going to go there, but I'm going to go to where? Next one below that, which is called what? Auto scaling group. Okay, so you see activity history. I have what? 2 successful. Okay, well done. Now what are we going to do? We're going to create a problem. We're going to do what? Create a what? Problem. Look what happened. Oops, sorry about that. Now we are step 22. Now I will go to, I'm sorry. Now I'm going to test this auto scaling. Since I cannot create 80% utilization, what I can do, I will make sure one of EC2 instance dies. So I'm going to kill it. I'm going to what? Kill it. And see if auto scaling group create a new EC2. So I will select EC2 from East 1A and terminate that. Okay, so that's what we want to do, because remember that according to this called auto scaling, again, since I cannot touch the CPU, I don't have nothing CPU, so as you can get 80%, I'm going to kill that, the one with what, 1A. All right, so what I'm going to do then when I go to next page, now after killing EC2 in 1A, I will see that on the load balancer it has only one in service. We're going to see that, which is what, 1B. And when I go back to EC2, I will see auto scaling will what, provision a new EC2 in East 1A. And then when I go back to elastic load balancer, I will see now 2 EC2. Okay, so let's go back first. I'm going to do what, kill it. Which one I'm going to kill it? This one. We want to create a problem. So I'll go back to here. Let's go back to my EC2. Okay, I'm going back instance right here. The one that says what? Let me see, this is 1A. I'll come down right here. This is 1A right here. See, this is 1A. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to right click and what? Terminate. Kill it. Kill it means what? We're just creating problem like 80% utilization. So I'm killing one of my instance. Okay. Now we want to see if my what? Auto scaling group is going to work. Now if I go back, first of all, let's go back to elastic load balance. Let's go back to elastic load balance. Okay. Now we're going to say instance. See, it's only one in service. The other one's what? Gone. That's what it's trying to say. Okay. Now let's go back to what? Auto scaling right here. Watch this. We're going to go where? On the activity history. Let's see what's happening. I'm going to refresh. Look at this activity. Okay, nothing happened. Nothing launched yet. So it takes time a little bit. Okay, remember now we have health check. Let's go to elastic load balance first. Hold on a second. I can find it right here. Load balance. Okay, let's see what's happening. Again, instance, what? Only one. Let's go back to description. I'm going to copy this. I still should get what? My what? Website. I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to paste and go. As you see, it's working still. Okay. Now let's go to EC2. I'll go back to EC2. Okay. Let's go back instant. Now look what happened. Okay, it's terminated, right? So is my auto scaling working? Not yet. We have to see something happen here. You can refresh. Let's see if happening. Nothing happened. Okay. Okay, let's hold on. Okay, we're gonna pause a little bit and wait. Let's go back to my what? Auto scaling groups. Okay, see right now is what? 1. I go activity. Let's see here. Aha, look what happened. See, it shows what? Terminate. You see? Terminate, right? Now look at this. Launching what? So we had 2 launch, which was at the beginning. Now I killed it. That's EC2, right? That has been killed there, right? Now it's launching what? A new what? Instant. That's why I want to see that here. So if I go back to what? EC2. Now watch this. Aha, look at that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to call this name. Okay. So that's what's in my notes. Right here, look at here. Now after killing EC2, ESM1, I will see that under load balancer, it has only one in service, which is 1B. Now if I go back to EC2, I will see auto scaling would provision a new EC2 in 1A. And when I go back to elastic load balancer, I will see now 2 is that. And one from EC1 and one from what? EC1. Now also go to auto scaling group under check the activity tab. I'm going to see this. So let's go to EC2 and give this new name. So I'm going to call auto scaling what? 3. I'm going to copy this. Okay, so I'm going to copy this. Now watch this. Very good. This is the provision. I'm going to click here, name, so you can see that. I check it. So I call it what? Let's say new. I put a new in front of that. New auto scaling tree. Okay. I check that. Oops. It didn't get it. Let me see. Do one more time. In front of that, I put new auto scaling check mark. Okay. So refresh. So let's look at back again. See that? I pick this one. Okay. Okay. Actually, let me get rid of the new. I don't like the word new. See, just remember this is the new one is. So I go back here, backspace, and check mark. So if I go name, I have what? 1 and 2 before, and this is new one initializing. Okay. And this is what got deal. Now look what happened. This was die, and this become what? 1A, and also create 1B. Refresh. Okay. Now let's go back to my what? To load balancer. Let's see what do we have. Let's see if I have 2 on the instance. All right. Now look at this. I get a what? New one. Auto scaling tree, which is I call that, and that. So that's on the what? And also that become on what? 1A. That's good. That's good one. I can see that. Now let's go back on auto scaling groups. Okay, let's see back here activity. All right, look at that. I have 2 successful which I had. This is when we have a terminator, and now I see what? See, terminate that. Now I see a new instance came up, and this is came up on what? EC21A. EC. Okay. So summarize. This is where you can check your activities. Very important. Scaling policy. That's when you group size. You can scale up or what? This is up. If you have more than CPU utilization, add one more instance. Okay, like what we did. If it's what? Less than that, you can decrease that. This is instance. How many instances we have? 1 and 2 in service. See, 1A, 1B. Minimum it could be 2, or it could be maximum what? 4. According to my notes, it's supposed to be 5. But mistake is 4, and so on. Okay. All right. Now if I go back again to my so everything working what? Good. If I go back to my load balancer right here, okay, again, when I go back to this lovely long DNS, I copy and I paste it. It's gonna go to where? Web server. That's the original. I have my website. See, when I say refresh, it's working. All right, and then if I go back on the instance, I can see both of them active. Okay, so that's conclude our notes and everything. If you have any question like that, go to our website www.asme.com. You can put here /L means landing page. That will take you to our landing page. Okay, and that shows all of our courses here. If you come down, we have Amazon, we have CompTIA, then we have Amazon courses. If you click here, that take you to our Amazon classes, which we have a bootcamp, evening, everything. Or if you go to blogs on the Amazon AWS, you see a bunch of our blogs, and our blogs is right here. So these are all the blogs we have done that. If you have a question, give us a call back, and thanks so much. You have a good day. Again, our number is 301-984-7400, and make sure you subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Have a good day.